hyperLativ, the Norwegian gamer. Hi guys, hyperLativ here, the Norwegian gamer, and this is some attacking rush for y'all on Tehran Highway. Tehran on the highway map. In this video, I am using the MP7 with the support kit, the Glock 18 as the secondary weapon, and C4 and the ammo box. So that's the class setup if you want. The reason for me using the MP7 is actually that at this point when this was recorded, I was working my way through the PDWs and unlocking all the attachments for those weapons. Now, as I've mentioned before, this is something that I do when I play. I think that that's a fun way to play. I mean, I get some variety with the weapons. I get to try the bad ones. I get to try the good ones. I may struggle with some of the weapons. I may discover some of the weapons and going like, wow, this is actually pretty good. Because even though you can look up the statistics of all the weapons, I mean, time to kill, how good the accuracy is and all that, some of the most important part of using a weapon in a game is how it feels. I mean, the statistics can only tell you so much, but if you don't get the right feel for the weapon, don't use it. Find a weapon that feels right. And I know that sounds kind of bizarre when it's a video game and you're only clutching onto your mouse or controller or however you want to play it. But it's some of the way that it handles and how the recoil kind of reacts when you shoot with a weapon. How which way it pulls, upwards, downwards, left or right, or I don't know how the recoil or how the spread is, the accuracy is when you hip fire or something like that. I don't know, but you kind of have to get the feel of the weapon before you can say anything about it. Because you might say, oh, the MP7, oh, that's a pretty crap weapon, isn't it? But actually, as you can see, I'm doing alright with it. It wasn't too bad. The only grudge with it was the small ammo or magazine size. But there is the extended mag attachment for this weapon. But then you have I had to give up the silencer, which to me isn't. It's not that easy of a choice, I have to admit. I really love my silencers. And right here, I didn't realize that there was an opening to my left there, so people could see me. So I got shot from the left. So I really have to admit, this is actually one of the better rush maps, because I sincerely think that the only way you can really get a good rush map is through options, or the ability for the player to choose how he want to attack the objectives, how he want to attack the MCOMs. So, for example, in Operation Metro, which is a very much hated map, which I sincerely believe is with good reason, you only have like 3 routes towards the MCOMs, and then you're kind of funneled into these routes and you're just walking straight into a meat grinder. However, on a map such as Caspian Border, where you're completely open to walk into their base or where their MCOMs are pretty much freely, you can surprise the enemy, you can outflank the enemy, you can pull some sneaky tactics on your enemy. I mean, there's a lot of options there, and I think that makes for better gameplay and a very better experience for all the players. And that's what worries me so much about Close Quarters, the next expansion for Battlefield, because I don't think the Battlefield needs more of those maps. It needs more of Caspian Border, or more of the Back to Karkand maps. I mean, seriously, Back to Karkand has probably some of the better maps of BF3. And those were designed almost 10 years ago. I mean, those maps are old. And they still prove to be excellent maps. That just goes to show how proper map design does well. And I mean, not all maps in BF2 was good, but those were. And we don't have that many good maps in BF3, I think. Not from in the vanilla BF3 experience. So back to Tehran Highway. As I said, I believe it to be a good rush map because it's kind of a morph between something like Cyan Crossing or and Caspian Border. It's not as narrowed in as Cyan Crossing, but it's still not as open as Caspian Border. So it brings kind of those two together in a very nice way, because you do have some cover to squat down behind. You can move between buildings and all that, but you're not locked down to like 3 main routes. You're very open, but there's a lot of construction to keep you covered if you want to move around. So that's the end of the game, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I hope to see you next time. Snackies.